Hello, good morning, good evening, and good afternoon. Look, I hope we are going live to the world. Have a few technical issues here and there, but we'd love to get to see you. And hopefully, I can see my good friend Mac in a few seconds, who is coming on in here. So let me see that, and let me see if we are live to the world. If you want to add into the chat, please do. And we look forward to seeing you. Hopefully, that we are here. So, hello, good morning, good evening, and good afternoon. And wherever you are in this wide, wonderful, beautiful world, you are very welcome to this stream. And my name's Jason Cooper, and today it's all about our why and our purpose, and having a look back at everything that we've done this year and what's gone on into. And as I do that, I'm just going to see if my good friend Mac is going to come on, and hopefully it won't be just me. And I think he's just come on. And since the last time I've used this platform, it's all changed. So it's probably good that we get this working well today. And let me just see, because I did hear, and I do have someone else wanted to come on board as well. So bear with me. And we have a few more technical difficulties today. And hold on a second. Here's my good friend Mac coming on, and welcome, Mac.
My goodness me, it was an interesting challenge.
Yeah, and Edit is coming on as well. And in the background, this is going to be interesting today because it's silly season and it is the 20th of the 12th. And so we're looking at our why and the reasons why we do what we do and the purpose behind everything that we've done. But because we're in silly season, it's good to actually review our why and to really understand where we are and what we're doing today. So, Mac, you're very welcome, and it's good to see a new, clean-shaven Mac. I hardly recognise you.
Yeah, I went to an event a few weeks ago, and I didn't realise that the beard was getting to a stage where it was, below the pecs. And and when I saw this photograph that was taken at the event, I looked at it and I was like, man, it is time caveman got out of here, and a bit of a refresh for the new year.
It's good to do that, and that's probably what one of the reasons that we're on today is just to have a refresh and to rethink about things. Like my face is always clean shaven. I did have a shave this morning, but it looks like you're gonna grow your stubble into another.
Well, I'm going to keep it at this length. I think it's
Really?
just so that it's not it doesn't get to that beard kind of it was way out of control. But just so that I haven't lost the beard altogether, but I've just got that kind of 2-day shadow.
We have Edit. Welcome.
Hi, Jason. Hi, Mac.
Hey, Edith, how are you?
I'm doing great, thank you.
And while we're doing this, I'm going to be fishing the internet and see if we can get some more guests up on board. This is the second one I've had today. I had a international WhatsApp version of this today where I've been chatting with some friends in New Zealand and England and Holland and all of that. So good catch up with some people as well. So it's definitely good to do this this time of year.
Yes, holiday season.
It is holiday season, and it is a slightly different time of year. So let me see if I can get some other people up on board as well. So, Edit, past you, this is a slightly different format to normal. So we're just getting in control of things today. We had a few technical issues on the back end, but I think, like everything that we do, it's all about pivoting and coming up with something slightly different.
Yeah. I was surprised that we're going now with face. Not, but it's great. I mean, yes, we always going up, elevating, right?
Yeah.
Always learning.
Yeah.
Always learning and always growing and always doing something slightly different.
Absolutely.
So, Edit, tell us about what's happening in your world. And we are talking about our why, but also the reflection of what we learned from this year and maybe what we are going to change for next year and how we're going to pivot on this.
Yeah. So I never really been a structured planner. I always allowed space for other people's request and grew through that. You know, when I had clients and they said, "Oh, I would love to learn this from you or this from you," and then I was like creating products like that. You know, and then I never really. Was strategic about pushing them towards something. It was more allowing to flow with them together, you know. But now it's like towards end of the year, I felt like I need to take more control, and then I need to be more strategic, and they also appreciate that. So not just waiting for the request, or and then but more proactive on, like, you know, you can do this as well, or you could do this as well with me. And so being more active and proactive with my clients, and showing more power, I would say, because I see that they really need that, like not just the mentoring part but the coaching part as well, being, you know, the accountability person in their life as well. Because I have many clients who's actually professionally doing similar things what I do with them, with their clients, you know, but still they need someone on their back ends, basically, who's seeing them from a different perspective, who's doing maybe a different modality with them, or like, because they feel also sometimes, you know, drained. They feel also sometimes certain ways which they need some healing or they need some support, while they are helping others, you know, at the same time. So it's I just realized that how much they also need this accountability, and then not to get like caught up on their you know, being overwhelmed by work, being overwhelmed by family. So just be there for them, and then, yeah, please do this practice or that practice. And then then when they do it, they realize how great is that for them, or how much it helps them, you know. So but to get into that thing to do, sometimes they need a bit of push, you know, because it's still new for them. It's a new routine, it's a new practice. So yeah, so that's what I learned from this year, is like being more proactive for my clients, being more strategic, what I expect from them or they from me. And yeah, so not just enjoying the time, but still being more as a leader, also like coming up as a leader for them, not just like a mentor or coach. Yeah.
Excellent. What about yourself, Mac? I know we're new to this video event, and it's good to actually see each other in the real world as well. And I'm actually using my standing desk today, so just so I
Look at
can be a
you
little
doing
bit
the
more
whole healthy
engaged.
thing.
Yeah, well, apparently, and I learned this from a neuroscientist, and he was in this event that I attended a good few years ago. Is we are 10% more intelligent when we stand up.
That's so cool to hear. That's so awesome. And
Well,
if you remember, like the monkey background, you know, like you would say, like, now we're standing up from the being a monkey, you know, then we are more intelligent. That's so cool.
So
it's quite a statistic, but it makes sense because, you know, when you're active, or when you're standing, you've got more blood flow going. You're on, you don't have those restrictions, and that increases brain flow, blood flow to the brain, which naturally would make it a bit more, make you a little bit more alert. If I stand up, everybody's going to be staring at my belly button, so I'm going to avoid that today. So I'll take the 10% kind of downgrade.
Well, there is a direct correlation between that, and you're absolutely right. And that's you took the words right out of my mouth. It's because when we are standing up, there is a lot more, assuming that we got the right posture. There's the diaphragm is open. We're not leaning over the keyboard, but we're also standing up. But we can also get the circulation through the body, and there's a lot more other things going on. And it's exactly the same as when you're doing phone calls. And it's an age-old thing is when you're on the phone to a client, if you're standing up and you're walking around, and we can do these, and we're not restricted by cables now, we can talk, and we can breathe properly as well, and our flow of oxygen is a lot better. And then we can actually smile. There's I don't know whether you remember this, Mac, from Tony Robbins. If you curl up and put your head down and you try and smile, it's very difficult to smile properly when your head is down. But when your head is up and your shoulders are back, you can actually smile a lot more easier. So
absolutely, it's all about that state change, and it's
yeah.
They say the best time to make your next call in sales, as an example, is after your last call, or when you've had your best call.
Yep.
When you've just closed something, that's the best time to make that next call, because you're in the right frame of mind. Your posture is alert. But most people will kind of set it off and go, yeah, okay, so now I'll put it off. Now next week I'll try and go again. The problem is it's like warming up for a major race. It's trying to jump straight out of the blocks without doing any warm up, and that's the biggest challenge.
Yeah, no, it is. It is. I've always heard that, but you're something goes on in the brain, and whether it's the oxytocin or whether it's the chemicals are in the brain, you triggered something off in your head, suggesting that you feel a lot more confident in what you do because you've just done a sell, you've just done something great, and automatically then you're more inclined with a little bit more confidence to actually engage a little bit further with the other person, as opposed to getting knockbacks and knockbacks and knockbacks and knockbacks. It's slightly harder. I've actually got someone else coming up as well, which is good.
I'm trying to watch multiple screens here to see.
That's it.
Format, and that's the one thing I loved about the old format. It was just in one place.
Well, it's and people can see where you are as well on this audio format, video format. But that's fine as well. We are technology enabled, and I do have multiple screens. I'm going to get a third, I think, because or one of those big screens with everything on it. So that was another thing that I'm looking at doing.
Awesome. Yeah, so, thank you for the tips. Thank you for the tips about making the car standing. I haven't done that before, like the sales cars walking around. I will try that, because it's sometimes I hear people that they're walking. It's strange for me, like, because I hear the background that they're walking, and then I'm thinking, like, what if my client hear that I'm walking? So it's a bit like distracting maybe for them. So that's why I had that confusion. But if you say it's more productive, then yeah, we might try.
Here we go, and let's see if this new person's going to jump in. Let's put a, and you will know. Let's see if the technology works first. That's always the challenge.
Maybe he's just shy.
Hello, is your technology working?
Hello. Can you hear us?
Hello, hello.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3, testing.
No,
Right.
Oh no, we've lost. Doesn't matter. I think. Mac, is that you actually know? Is it her or is it he?
yes,
I do apologize. Her, yeah, that's
Lois,
what I thought.
I don't know what's going on with LinkedIn today, but it's very weird and slow.
I'm actually all right. I tell you what has worked for me. You know, I was having problems with it, kept logging me off, and I worked out exactly what the issues is. It's all of those apps that are in the background. So I had a lot of LinkedIn AI tools, which turned out to be absolutely useless in the end, but I completely forgot about them. And I just wondered why it kept logging me off. But now I just got rid of them all.
That's interesting because I don't have any of those connected. I don't have anything like that connected. But it's coming up very, very slowly on LinkedIn.
Because I had autoresponders and all of that, which I was testing, and they were absolutely dreadful in response. And it wasn't organic. It was just pulling out the context of the post and pushing it into a message, and it was just an easy press. But
oh, look, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Some automation of sorts.
yeah, I got rid of them because I didn't like them. It wasn't organic and it wasn't
LinkedIn
authentic.
throttles your profile when they see too many of those.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think Lowe's is having a few problems. If I can correctly, hello, are you
Can
there?
you hear me? Good afternoon.
Oh,
We
can hear
can.
Good
Hi.
afternoon. Good afternoon. Good evening, wherever you are. So great this LinkedIn Live, and I missed the audios, but this is great too. I think it's new, but we have to give it a go and chance. And I think new technology. I think it's great, and having conversations with each other. Not only connecting, but to 2025 is the year to have conversations with your connection. I think that's a good purpose. Because learning to know each other, everyone reads each other's posts, but I think this is a new dimension, having conversations, and then you can hear each other not only on audio but also in a chat and in LinkedIn Live. I think it's great. This. Thank you.
Plus, you can see us as well, which is the bonus. But we're trying
Yes,
to look
that's
into the
great.
camera, but because we have multiple screens, there is a little bit of distraction there because we're trying to pull people up as well. But great that there's 4 of us, because otherwise it would be Mac and I. But that was great, and we're all getting used to Mac's face. I mean that in a positive way. I mean that because his beard has gone.
Yeah, I think it's great, and people. It's new for people, but when everyone is used to it and embraced it, I think more people will come to LinkedIn Live and come on stage. You see it with audio events. Sometimes people are shy to talk or hesitate to involve. But I think if we are used to it, now it's maybe a little new, but next year a lot of people will join the stage, I think, to speak. And it's always great to encourage people to speak and to come to the event, because having conversations, we can deepen our connections and talk about subjects. We don't have to agree on anything of everything we think and say, but we can have good conversations. And it's always thoughtful to exchange thoughts and insights, then you get the possibility to look at things from a different kind of perspective, how other persons think about it. And I think it's great. It's all about people and storytelling and exchange knowledge. Knowledge will become worthful if you share it with other people. And talking, I think I like talking and having conversations with each other, sharing thoughts and insights. There's so much to talk about in the world. There's so much happening at the moment, and I think storytelling and what other people think, it's so great to hear it and have connections. I'm very grateful. Thank you.
Thank you for that. And the wonderful thing with this live, we can actually, anyone that's in the chat room, we can actually look at them. They've added some comments. So it's Anjon there. Thanks for all
Hi,
good things.
Anjon.
Take time. So thanks yourself. So what are your plans this year? What have you learned from 2024, and what are you going to take forward to 2025?
Oh, so much. I learned so much. I learned well about leadership and new technology, and there are people who sending me articles about everything, asset management and leadership, and giving me feedback, and so much I learned. And what I will take to 2025, then I will meet some connections in persons, and I have the idea to organize a sort of meet and greet. I think it's great if more people can meet, if we all can meet each other in 2025, a sort of round table or something like that, and talk in person. I would like to do that. And I'm learning. It's a learning journey. I'm learning so much because I've connections, and in audio rooms they're joining from India and Africa, and we can learn so much from them about the culture and a lot of their thoughts, because they are thinking, if you serve others, for example, without expecting something in return, your soul can grow. And if you are open up to other people for feedback and that sort of things, you open up to the possibility to grow yourself. And I think it's all about people. Not about things or get as many likes or count your followers. It's about the persons behind the account. And I'm learned this year so many things, not only about asset management, maintenance management, leadership, and health, and so many things, how other people think, and change your thoughts about some subjects, look at the subject from a different kind of view. There are many ways to look at the topic, not only your own opinion, but sometimes other people's opinion. Well, I think they have a point. So in 2025, I would like to meet online or in person, some connections, and I think that would be great. And go on with sharing the topics and learn from other sectors and companies, and go on with the audio or the LinkedIn lives and meet each other and have more conversations. In 2024, when I was beginning of LinkedIn, I had a lot of audios and I was very much busy with listening. At the moment I was speaking, and in 2025 I would like to expand that and join more LinkedIn lives and audio, and sometimes speak. And one time I made a podcast, and 30th of December I make another one, and maybe in 2025 I will do more podcasts. And you make it very personal then. It's new for me, but I like being your authentic self, and people can recognize you if you are on every social media platform the same person, not acting as someone else every time. That's important for me. Be your authentic self, and then people open up for you too if you share something. So I think great to expand that in 2025.
Excellent.
I
That's
believe
always
that
fantastic stuff.
Yeah, I believe that not just meeting with people and getting knowledge or getting information, but collaborations are very important. How we can actually support each other and work together to make the world a better place, right? So that would be like the next step from networking, and next step from learning about each other is like to actually start doing something together, collaborating.
Certainly, collaborating and knowing when to help each other, and completing each other, not competing each other. That's important. And it all starts with collaboration and building a community, building relationships, and helping each other and serving others. It's all about others, not about us. But we can help each other and achieve common goals. I think that's important too.
Very true indeed. It'd be lovely to see you as well. I don't know if you've access to that. We're showing our worth to the world right now. It's slightly different to the audio format, but it's always good to see people. Only if you want to. You don't have to. And while we're doing that,
Great.
we've had some people comment on there. And that's me there. Please come and join us on LinkedIn Live right now. Please ping myself or Mac for the links. And there's another person up there as well. Hello, Jason and
That's
Mac
Margaret
Edit from Margaret. I've sent Margaret a link already. So hopefully Margaret will come up as well.
I've shared the link
Trying
on
to
my
work out the
profile as well,
technology.
so
It
if you
does
want
take
it.
a little bit of time.
Oh, Margaret, she speaks so wonderful and so intentionally. So I hope she will come on stage and can say something. But it's so always meaningful and so kind to people. So encouraging people to speak, just like Anjon. So I hope she will come to stage to speak something.
Absolutely. The more, the merrier.
Jason, can I throw in a bit of a curveball question here? Because one of the things we are doing is obviously reviewing, what's happened in 2024, and then looking into 2025. But I'm finding a lot of solopreneurs or business owners, consultants that are facing the wonderful conversation of let's touch base in January, but with those businesses having the intention of hitting the ground running in January. And I just kind of wanted to leave it wide open because that can go anywhere, but just wanted to know your thoughts on that at this stage of the year, if people are still planning to hit the ground running in January, but only willing to take those conversations forward after the break as such. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, that's a big question. Who wants to go first? Edit. I'll let you go first because I've already
Yeah,
thought about this.
so I'm still active. I'm still active. I'm still reaching out to clients. I'm still having sessions. So I don't really take the holiday as a holiday for that reason, especially because in my practice, the trauma healing, it's like they still need me. So I'm still open to, help and support. So if I have my time, I have my, availabilities, then and I can do that for them. So I don't really close my doors, or I don't really say I'm not. No, I'm always the person who's just going forward. I'm not. I'm not gonna. I've never set a time for like I'm starting this time. I'm always starting. I'm always doing something next level. So it's never about time, or it's never about the next month or the next week. It's now. It's always now.
Oh yes,
Yeah,
me too. Me too. I am always take action every day. I'm not thinking, well, next year I will start with this or that. If I want something, I start today or tomorrow. I never postpone things, but because you don't know what happened, I'm. Well, I always think if I want something, I will do it tomorrow, or why postpone things? And I'm almost always available for conversations. I never take a break in December when I can understand if people do that. If there are people who have a business and they're very busy and they take a week off or so, I can understand. But I like conversations, and I'm always here, available. And sometimes I must confess, sometimes in the countries are having audio events, and then it's in the night. I get invitations from a lot of connections. Well, join my audio, but sometimes it's at night in the Netherlands, so then I'm sleeping, so I miss that. That's the only time, well, when I put my telephone off, actually when I'm sleeping in the night. But for other times I'm always available and want to join. If I get an invitation, mostly I join. Sometimes there are 2 or 3 audio events together at the same times. Well, that's difficult to join all the 3, but I'm always available. I'm not the person from Monday to Friday, or in business or in private. For me, a day has 24 hours and a week 7 days. So if it's in the evening, in the morning at 6 o'clock a.m., mostly I'm awake, and I'm want to be active, and only at night I'm sleeping. But I'm always enjoying the day. I'm very positive and always excited for the day, what will come ahead, and looking for possibilities and what's next, and to meet people. I think it's interesting, and I'm not taking in December a week off or so. So it looks like I'm hoping that there is an audio or LinkedIn live, and that not every person take a week off. Then it's so quiet in here, I think. When no one is organizing something, wow, it's very quiet, I think. I'm always searching for an audio or some people who organize something, or I will do it myself. But I like
just having
the
that human connection, hey?
busyness. Yes, the talkings, and and it doesn't matter what subject, if it's about health or spiritually or business or leadership. It's always interesting to share things, and I'm interesting what other people think it's important, because that's their life. They're busy with the business or the family and what's happening there. If you are interesting in people, you are interesting in what's happening in their lives, what takes their day, and what are the things they're busy with. So it's very interesting.
Jason, what are your thoughts?
I just wanted to. I was going to jump
I
into
saw
there
my
in a sec,
comment.
but Margaret, you can actually join with audio, video off. That's absolutely fine. And anyone else that'd love to join.
Absolutely no
And
pressure.
we have a new joiner there, which I'm deflecting my answer. So Margaret's coming in without a video. So that's awesome.
Nice one. Hey,
Welcome.
Margaret.
Brilliant. Hi, Margaret.
Hi.
Hello, Margaret. And probably everyone is hello. We can see something's happening, or we can hear something's happening, and it's always great to have more of us. And while you're doing that, I'm actually going to answer that question Mac posed about the plan. I always I pivot by week, and I always allow the Pareto principle to come into play. So the 80-20 rule. So 80% of the time I'm planned, and I know where I'm going, and I know exactly what I want to do next year. And I have ideas, and it's all written down of things I need to do personally and professionally, and things that is already planned into doing. So I already have a schedule of workshops that are actually happening, but I've also have a plan of the intent and the things that I need to do as well. So part of that is learning. So a big chunk of that is how much more learning can I do, either whether it's by books or whether I go, well, I need to learn something specifically to improve on something. I'm always looking to improve on coaching skills. I already had I was on an event of about 3 weeks ago on coaching skills, because I'm always looking to improve that. But also facilitation skills and training skills, I'm always looking to improve that. So there's other things that I want to do, but also in the areas of psychology and decision making. So there's other plans within those areas that I do want to master or get better at, or just confirm that I'm correct in my assumptions, because you can never start to learn. So whether that's in-person training, someone training me, that's exactly what I strive for. So I have a big chunk of my plan for 2025 is to learn. But then business-wise, I have a plan on that. And then to pivot, that's the 20%. Something that I need to get better at, which is the review, is to batch content. Batch actually planning for the week, whether to do it on a Sunday or Monday or in an evening. So, but this is my plan of the week. Let me record, let me write the content, and then the good thing with LinkedIn, we can schedule, and that's done.
It's a massive
and I don't have
time
to worry
saver
about that. All I
when
have
you
to
get
do,
good at that.
yeah, I do it, but not as frequent as I'd like to be. So a friend of mine actually has a whole spreadsheet of content planned out, and I have to get better at that. And it's something that I want to be good at, better at that. So any help in that sort of area, I'd love to work on
Well,
that.
I've got a few tips
Margaret,
on that. I'll share with that with you in private.
Oh, please do, please do. Like I've downloaded a whole load of stuff, but it's what I'd like someone to just
Try
run
and keep
through
it
it with me.
simple and easy to follow. Margaret's having
Absolutely.
audio issues. Margaret, we can hear something going on. We can hear you playing with your mic.
Margaret, can you talk? Yeah, it's always that thing. If you jumped off from Zoom, going into another Teams or anything else.
What?
Oh, she's disappeared.
Okay, well, anybody who's listening and watching, one of
back.
the things I'd suggest, if you haven't been on Restream before or one of these third-party platforms, when you come in, I've also just noticed that Restream, as Jason was talking about, coming from one platform to another, if you click on the microphone, it's got a little drop down next to it. And for some reason, the microphone was using my monitor's sound instead of my headset. So, I've been wearing this thing for the last 40 minutes and the sound's been coming from somewhere else. So just look at where the plugin is so that you've got the correct source coming in, and that should make it easier. But it's painful when we change processes and then it takes us a little bit of a while to learn the new things. It's like learning to drive all over again.
Yeah, well, it was like that when I started. I scheduled it and it was planned to, and then I looked at the back end of the platform. And I've done this loads of times, and I go, "What's going on? It looks totally different. I don't know what's going on." Yeah. But like, we got here, or even on a different stream, we pivot and we learn and we grow that way.
Absolutely. So, Jason, I wanted to expand just on that question quickly, because one of the things, we're coming up to this period where, as Lowe's was saying as well, with regards to, some people in their businesses are taking a break because they've been busy throughout the year. But it's that part of realizing that everybody is on a different path, different journey. And just because somebody else is on a break doesn't mean we can't do business at this period, because there are other people that are still trying to plan, make things happen, looking for answers, needing help. And just to give you an example, I with a security organization that I worked with several years ago, I came in and the standard thing throughout the organization with 400 salespeople was that they all take holidays over August, because August is the worst time of the year because everybody's away, nobody's making decisions. And that was just a culture within the organization and been like that for 10 years. Yeah. So I went in and readdressed that because, just to flip it on its head and see if that is the truth for everybody. Because whatever you tell yourself, either way, you're right. Or, whether you say you can't or you can, you're right. You've heard that saying. And
I think the saying, if you believe you can, or if you believe you can't, then you're right.
And that August, I took a team of 10 salespeople and broke records that they'd never seen before throughout the year, but also in August. And they were all like so grateful that they'd worked through August because they had their best year yet. Within 1 month. But the same comes to all of these different holiday periods throughout the year, whether it be New Year's or Christmas or Valentine's Day is the only day of the year you're allowed to tell your loved one you love them, or, all these things. It's like just having that mindset of just because that's the way others do it doesn't mean you're on the same path or the same process. And there are still people right now on the 20th of December looking at how they can make the 1st of January a good one, or not even the 1st of January, how they can make tomorrow a good one. So, just having that in our minds, that just because certain people stop doesn't mean everybody does. Not that I'm saying you shouldn't stop, because having a break is also just as important to refresh.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. It's like sales don't happen in August. And that is particularly a mindset, because it's, how do you know, is the question that I always ask. Oh, well, it's always happened that way. And you go, well, always, all the time, every time? Have you never got or picked up the phone and spoken to someone with that is a key stakeholder that can make a decision? And then it's part of a challenge in that process, because it's that belief system, it's that spiritual, and it's the levels below. But it's always been like that. Well, has it? Oh, someone told me it's always been like that. Well, who told you that? And again, you just reframe the challenge. Like this time of year, like I actually switch off this time of year because number one, I go away back to see my parents and all that. So in my head, but you know, there's still things can still happen between now and the new year. There's still working days, and people are still communicating with each other.
Absolutely.
Margaret,
Is Margaret able to speak?
I don't know. I'm hoping so. Margaret, are you there?
Hello. Can everybody hear me?
Yay!
Hi,
Excellent.
Margaret. Hello,
Yay.
welcome.
Hello, everyone. I'm so blessed. Thank you so much for having me. Lowe's, thank you. I'm here because of you.
Thank
But
you. Thank
thank you,
you. Great to
Jason.
hear.
Well,
You're
thank you for the
always speaking so
invitation.
beautiful. So,
Oh, you're so sweet. I love to hear you speak though. You have such beautiful just love, and I love the way you shared making everybody, the picture today this morning. I saw it. Thank you for sharing that. And I just want to say hello to all of you, and I hope you all are well. I'm sorry I couldn't hear. I couldn't. It's my laptop, so I had to change devices, but I'm here. So I was reading. I think you all were talking because Dr. and John had put all good things take time, and they do, right? I've come to learn that the best things, are worth the wait, and they do take time. The longer you wait, it's kind of like wine, right? Grapes, the grapes of the wine that take a long time. But please tell me, what were you talking about? Please ask me anything.
Mac, you were saying a really good suggestion earlier. So um, fire away, Mac.
Well, we were talking about the fact that all these that some people take breaks at this period of time, but not everybody does, and that mindset of being able to push on and help people today or tomorrow, rather than sitting there and assuming that everybody is now taking a holiday between now and the new year. And also that frame of mind that it's the 20th of December, it's not too late for us to still hit the ground running in the beginning of January. So just kind of wanted your thoughts on planning, mindset. When do you stop? What stops you? Anything on that frame of mind?
Well, thank you so much, and you're right. And that is the difference between like an entrepreneurship and a regular, like, let's say an educate, you're an official in the education system, right? And you get to have that break. But in entrepreneurship, you don't really take a break. You just keep going and going and going. And that mindset is always, let's get her done. Let's make that happen. Let's make that money. And that's what it is, right? But I think, Edith said it best also, the collaboration, when you are with a team, when you are collaborating with people, it just makes and if you're doing something you love, does it really feel like you're working, right? If you're having fun, like, do you really want to take a break from doing the greatness for real, and showing up, right? And especially when you get that feedback that Lois was talking about, when you get that feedback and you get that people, want, they want to hear from you. They want to work on their mindset because you're talking about mindset. How about that? We're cheering you on, and then we're cheerleaders for you. We're collaboratively speaking about that. But I think that it doesn't matter where you are, what you're doing. I feel like you do have to take time for yourself. You have to say, hey, I'm worth this time. I need this time for me just to be able to come back and be 10 times stronger, hit it harder. Let's go, Um, and I feel it's so important to just love yourself more than anything. I think self love and self care is at the highlight, and taking a little bit of time is just, it's a good thing, right? I feel that it is a good thing for us to step back a little bit enjoy our families, our loved ones, and make the most out of it. But thank you so much.
Sean, I just unmuted you there, but are you there?
Yep, I'm here.
I can just hear some stuff in the background. So welcome. So Margaret, I do apologize there. I just noticed Sean was there as well, and we're having a really good conversation today, and we are playing it by the seat of our pants today because we're on a new way of doing our audio, now video event. So welcome.
Thanks for having me. I came because of Mac.
He's such a good fellow, Mac. He doesn't look like Mac anymore. He looks like a completely different person.
Welcome, Sean. Thanks for putting me in trouble there, but it's all good. It's all good. And Jason, I'm still the same person, just less fur.
So, Sean, we'd like your perspective because we were talking about different times of year, and especially this time of year. Do you switch off, or do you still continue to carry on between now and up to Christmas, and in between Christmas and New Year? Are you still switched on for work or connection and conversation, or do you switch off? I tend to switch off, but that's just me. I sometimes I've had a very busy year, and sometimes I need a break, but that's just down to me.
Typically, I stay on through the holiday season, depending on, like, I can't say every year it's the same because we tend to switch off at various points throughout the year. Like last week, I took 4 days of downtime with my family for my son's birthday. That was a good downtime, kind of reset, recharge a little bit so that I can finish the year out strong.
Great stuff. And anything, we're also looking about reflection of the year and what went well, what we could maybe adjust and think about for the next coming year, and how will you hit the ground running, or how do you plan, or if you plan at all?
I am planning. I'm in the planning stages currently. I'm still working on the plan. I definitely want to hit it strong in 2025. 2024 was good. Didn't exactly work out the way I intended, but that's okay. I learned a lot through the year. But yeah, definitely planning. I actually just published a podcast recently about that end of the year reflection. So definitely a lot of value in that.
It's the first one that speaks. So who? I'm always curious about that. But that's good because Edit and Lau's Margaret actually had a slightly different perspective on that. But it's always good to share and grow what works for people and why it works for you, and maybe what didn't work so well for you, and what did you learn from that? Who would like to answer that? We've got Margaret, we've got Edit, and we've got Laos, we've got Mac as well, and Sean.
Yeah, sure. What can you repeat the question again? I'm sorry. I was posting a comment on
No, that's I know we're all multitasking, and we're never. Well, our brain gets distracted with too many things going on at the same time, and I'm one of those people as well. You're listening to what people are saying, but then you're posting as well at the same time.
Yeah.
So really, like there's quite a few subjects that we touched on already, like the power of now, like we continue to work, like we're Friday the 20th of December now. Is it a mindset about, is it still okay to carry on between Christmas and New Year? or are our clients hiding away underneath the covers and waiting until January the 6th, which is normally everyone gets back in the corporate world? That's when everyone gets back into the office. But other people and other mindsets, there's still business that still carries on. There's still conversations to be had. So that's the perspective. Is it a mindset, or is it a mind shift, or is it just the way it is?
You know, I think it just, in respect to everyone, I think it's just wherever, you know, their heart and their mind does lie, right? A lot of people are like, hey, I'm going to take my family time. My kids are on holiday. So let's, you know, spend time with them. I know my daughter today's on holiday. So if you hear background noises, because she's watching shows and doing her thing, right? But I feel like I'm still going to have my jam later. I'm still going to do this, and that probably won't last 4 hours like before, because I do want to take time to spend with her. And I make time every day to spend with her, no matter what I'm doing. She as is in the forefront. And another reason why I think it's for our mental health, right? I mean, I can't speak enough on mental health. We need that break. We need to put our mental health first, ourself first, and we need to regroup and reset to recharge and then be stronger, better, work harder, you know. And then sometimes we just need to shut off, right? We need to disconnect from our electronics and stuff. I think clients and customers, I think that they, you know, in respect to them, they want to spend time with family. They want to enjoy the holiday. Everybody's cheery. Like, for the first time in a long time, I feel like the spirit of Christmas has hit us hard here in the USA. And it has just been exciting, and everybody's cheery right now. And we're looking forward to this break in family. You know, we'll be going down to spend time in Wichita, Kansas again. And so, and then going over to Junction City, and, you know, just making some family time. But I think it's a level of respect, you know, of what people choose. But I like that question. Thank you so much.
I believe it's totally depends on, like, yes, if the people has smaller kids, then definitely they follow the school system, right? Then when the kids are at home, they are disturbed. They can't work the same way. You can't make phone calls, or you can't do the same things like you would do when they are in school or more occupied somewhere. So basically they need to adjust to the environment. So okay, now the kids are at home, so I'm gonna take the break of this, and then of course I need to spend time with them. So I totally see that they need to follow these school schedule thing, and then probably that's why they take break. So it's might they wouldn't choose it, but they kind of like pushed into it by the system. And then, and yeah, many people have small kids, but if you are in a freedom of not having children, you know, you don't feel it that way. You are still in the role, you still having the space and time to do whatever you want to do. Then basically you are the other person who's like, yeah, I can still do business, I can still work. So it's just, I think it's truly about like how occupied you are, or how much is the demand on you during holiday times, you know, from your family and from your, you know, relatives.
Yeah, I think that's a really important point there, Edith, because everybody's on a different path. And that's the one thing for all of us to realize, is that, you know, all of us are on a different journey, have different experiences and different things going on. And as Lois mentioned earlier, you know, some of us during this time of the year need that human connection because everybody else is away, they're on breaks, and it can be quite an isolated time as well.
Yeah.
But then for others that are spending that time and blessed to be able to be around a lot of people, you know, they're on a different journey. So it's just being mindful that it's okay for us all to be on a different path and a different journey and a different, you know, outcome. And you know, as Margaret mentioned about that mental health thing, you know, just because it's New Year's and Christmas, you know, that is a good time to kind of reflect. But it doesn't mean that we should only wait until this time of the year before we have that mental health break.
Exactly.
You know, we should do it on a regular basis. You know, always, you can't pour from an empty cup, they say. So it's always taking stock. And I found that when I go to some of my clients, and it's even halfway through the year, and I say, hey, well, actually, I'm taking 3 or 4 days off to reboot and look after myself and spend some time with the family, they really appreciate the honesty and go like, wow, I wish I could do that. And they can, but they choose not to. They choose to do it at the end of the year. So it's, it's just communicating, I think, where we're at, and being okay that other people are on a different path and doing things differently doesn't make what we're doing not right, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was going to say, just going to jump in there. I think it also goes with our energy levels, because our energy levels go up and down all the time. That could be various reasons that's going on in the body and all of that. And sometimes it's just good to go, well, as a independent entrepreneur like ourselves here that work for ourselves, I can go, well, I'm going to take tomorrow off. I'm just going to go out of office and I'm just going to do retail therapy, or I'm going to go to a spa, or I'm going to go for a run, walk, or whatever else, because I know everything's getting on top of me and I need a day for myself to have, even if it's just to spend a day on Netflix or just watch movies, or I'm sure you can watch Silo. I'm watching Silo at the moment. I can spend the whole day watching that. But we can do just having those brain days where we just want to detox and unwind, whatever it might be for us.
Absolutely, exactly. So I was thinking the same thing, like we don't need to wait till this holiday season to have that time. We can choose any time to have that time if we are entrepreneurs. 9 to 5 is different, of course, but yeah, absolutely.
100% agree with you, Jason, what you said, what Mac was saying. For example, yesterday at 56 years old, I was in the trampoline park with my 7-year-old son. Catching air, as he said it, because there's this like slide, you come flying down and you go up in the air and land on an airblade.
Oh, man. You see?
Knackering, isn't it? It's very tiring.
Yeah,
but he's living.
I realized how out of shape I am for sure. But it was a lot of fun. It was a great recharge, and I'm grateful to be an entrepreneur and be able to have that flexibility, and at the same time respecting others' model of the world. I've always been one to take a break when it's needed, not wait for things to blow up, or wait for that summer break or that winter break. We also homeschool at home, so that gives us even another level of flexibility.
All I can see right now is Michael jumping off the trampoline.
Yeah, that's the vision that I had in my head.
And yeah, and that's the thing, is being in the moment, is so important as well. Throughout this year, we could be spending a lot of time reflecting on the past or looking into the future, but it's so important for us to take that time to be in the present, and that that's soul food at the end of the day. Anyway, I can talk forever, and we've got wonderful people on here that can share their bits.
Because I'm hitting my witch now, I have family coming around to my house soonish, and I will have to prepare. So I will have to jump off in a few moments. So should we just do round robin, if that's good? Is it Sean or is it Michael? Is it Michael or was it Sean?
I always say anything but late for dinner.
Right. Okay. Yes. So
yeah, they're both my first name, part of the initial. They're just Shawn Michael. It's not a family name.
Right. Okay. Shawn Michaels from WWE, isn't it?
Similar, but he has the S on the end.
Does he? Does he now? Right.
Yeah. No sweet chin music here.
So
I've been called the Heartbreak Kid, though. So
yeah. No, I can see that. I can see that, you're Heartbreak Kid. I can see that in your face. So round robin. Let's go with Luz, if I pronounce your name correctly.
Oh, yes. In America, they say Lois. Every one speaks it differently, but it's okay. A friend of mine has a food shop, and they are their father began with the same shop as a grocery in vegetables, and they took over the business, and now they have a business, a food business. They do catering, make fresh meals. They have three chefs hired in time, and they make fresh meals for their store, and they sell them, and they do catering and lots of things, and they are very busy nowadays or in December. And I can imagine in January they take a week off to go on holiday, and I understand, because it's so busy for them in December, and you want to enjoy all the profits that you have for your team members, but also for yourself. And it's always good to enjoy the profits you made, because why else would you work so hard? So you have to enjoy it, and enjoying and take a laugh, it's so important every day. And for example, to this morning, or at the night, I was listening to an audio room of Margaret, and it's so funny, and we laughed because someone at the audience began to speak, and they if I was understand it correctly, they want to say Feliz Navidad, and they say something else, because and Margaret said, you just wished everybody a happy Easter instead of a happy Christmas. So everyone laughed, and that's important too, to have a laugh and make each other happy during the year, not only at Christmas. That's good for health too. So everybody is different, but it's fun to share things and stories and laughter now and then. It's so great to do.
And Margaret as well. I literally got seconds before I need to jump off. But Margaret, and then we go to
Oh
Sean, and
no.
then edits,
I'll
and then
make it
Mac,
quick.
and
I'll
then
make it
we
quick.
finish up for the day.
I'll make it quick. I'll make it quick. All right. Because it's always awesome to be with you, Jason and Mac and everybody. And yes, Luz, it was funny because Pascua, and it's Jay's last name, right? Jay Pascua. And it means Easter, right? But Feliz Pascua, I think it was Ollie who, Brother Ollie said it, right? Because it's in French. But it means Merry Christmas, but Pascua means Easter. So but they all tie in together. But yes, definitely, you know, be well, be merry, take time for you and reach out. I believe in being and staying connected. If people reach out to you, they know where to talk to and where to, if they need somebody. I'm always available all the time. So that's so important. And I'm going to spend time with my daughter right now. So thank you for inviting me, Luz and Mac and Jason, and thank you for having me. And great to see you, Sean Michael. I think it's all one name. And Edith, you're amazing. I seen Sean's little boy too. So yeah, I could see him jumping on that trampoline with them. Say, yes, I can. Yes, I can. All right. Thank you. Y'all be well.
The same to you, Margaret and Lowe's. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Yeah, I want to also wish Merry Christmas to everyone. Thank you for having me, and see you guys next time.
Merry Christmas.
And that's all I'm going to
Have
say.
a great
Merry
holiday.
Christmas, and wishing everyone else a fantastic break, really, and recharge and eat loads. the normal stuff.
Absolutely. And if you're interested to find out what other people are celebrating this December, I didn't know there were like 12 different festivals. Go and have a look at the post on my profile where I literally run through all of them and all the foods they eat. There's a lot of great food being eaten over December. So go and check that out and comment. I'd love to know what you do.
As I posted on Mac's post, Happy Merry Christmaka Kwanzarama or something like that. Thanks, Jason, for allowing me to join you guys at the last minute, and great to chat. Hope you guys have a great holiday.
Indeed. And if you are around, join us on the social Saturday 28th. We're having an old school LinkedIn audio. Jason, you better pop in if you can.
One of the last ones.
Yeah, how are you doing that? I noticed that. How
because
you doing
we scheduled it before the 2nd of December, we are allowed to run one old style final one. So we kind of cranked it in there last minute. But it's the last one of the old type where we don't have all those technical issues and you can just jump on LinkedIn audio.
I will be there. I'll be back. I'll be back in Ireland then.
Awesome.
After being back in England. So look, you're all incredible. Have a great time. And I'm going to end the stream. Bye-bye.